Wandavision, episode 6. Dude, Kung Fu. Anyway, I don't know why I did that. Wow. So yeah, I didn't get to do the review yesterday. I just didn't get around to it. But I'm here now. We're talking Wandavision episode 6, and Jesus. So, me and my girlfriend always talk about it sucks that this comes out once a week, but it's also great because it builds up the questions and the suspense for the next episode. And man, you gotta tip your hat off to the writing in this episode, this series, man, because they do such a perfect job of giving you just enough answers to satisfy your curiosity about some questions, while opening the doors while not answering some of your other questions, and then basically saying, okay, yeah, we're gonna pose a couple more questions to you. So apparently, Malcolm in the Middle is the inspiration of this, which I believe Malcolm in the Middle. Hold on. This should be the 90s we're in now, but Malcolm in the Middle. Okay, Malcolm in the Middle, American sitcom. When did that come out? That was in... first aired in 2000. Okay, so 2000 is just on the cusp of the... is just on the cusp of the 90s. So, we'll let it slide. Most likely, we're going to be going into the Modern Family one coming up soon. And we might get a Two Broke Girl cameo from Darcy. Two Broke Girls cameo from Darcy. But yeah, it's the Halloween episode, Spooktacular. The humor is still fantastic as always. Like, trying to remember exactly what a few of the jokes that we got in here, because some of the jokes were still very funny. Like the whole, I remember that time when we got typhoid and Mom made us causes it's a fish to share. So yeah, but more importantly is the questions and answers we have posed in this. Is Pietro the actual Pietro from the Fox X-Men, or is he the MCU Pietro, or is he an imposter? I think, like a lot of people, this is kind of cemented the fact, no, this guy's an imposter. This whoever he is. I heard a great theory. Maybe he's a Skrull. Like, the Skrull are saying this is like, we need to send someone in, because the alarms are going off that the perimeter was breached in the previous episode. So maybe he's a Skrull. That could work. But no, I think we have enough evidence to show that he's at minimum an imposter Pietro. Because Wanda questions, like, remember that kid with a skin condition? What was his name? You're testing me. Correctly pointing out, a lot of people point out, he didn't answer the question. The fact that he questions Wanda, and actually he's like, no, I'm proud of what you did here. Absolutely. He's like, why would you be proud of what he did here, or she did here? She's keeping people enslaved. Like, she's keeping people here against their will. Your brother would not be proud of you for that. And the fact that he's questioning, where'd the children? How'd you get it? Hey, oh, look, I'm your brother, all that. The fact that he was able to say, hey, your dad your husband can't die twice. Right? And, she's blasting him for that. Yeah, I think there's enough evidence here to suggest that's not Pietro. That whoever that is, that's the villain. As either the villain or someone working through the villain. Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. The whole idea, too, that whether or not Agnes is a villain or not, the episode I think this is a red herring episode, that Agnes is not a villain. Like, she's not, because we know there's something different about Agnes. Why is Agnes different? Because now she's in the intro, too. And, her pants said naughty on him. It might be a wink or a nod. But the fact of the matter is, we learned that the farther away people are from Wanda, the less control she has over them, the more that they're kind of just like statues. But Agnes is about as far away. Alice is like she's near the border of the event, if you will. Agnes is still able to kind of have a conversation with Vision. Even in that state, it's like, oh, it took a wrong turn. It's like, whereas everyone else is just kind of zombified. She can still kind of have a conversation. Then he unlocks her, and she's like, am I dead? And I saw a new rockstar point outside. She's holding her, she's like, where's her brooch? Yeah, that could be something to do with maybe she's acting the Harkness. I don't know. There's Mephisto's soul in there. I don't know. Point being, it looks like she's looking for the brooch. And then when he basically puts her back into her regular mindset, she's able to just drive off and have a happy yeah. But she's unlike everyone else there. She's still generally able to function. She's like on autopilot at that moment, but she's generally able to function still. Why can she function that far out when other people can't? There's something different about Agnes. She's got to have some sort of tie with whatever other force is going on here. And the other force a lot of people are thinking is either Mephisto or it could be Nightmare. Because I feed on Yo Magic. And yeah, that commercial, man. My girlfriend and I are just like, what the fuck was that? Just see this kid just die. Yeah, all of them up to now have been dealing with trauma. She mentioned, see, I felt empty and alone, and maybe that's what the skull was representing. Even as she's trying, and her magic is what feeds her, but she can't use her magic, then she's gonna just waste away and die. But the shark is the one saying, "I feed on your magic." Who's the shark? Who's the predator feeding off of her? It's clear that symbol is there, that you can't overlook that. Something else is here. This Pietro, this Evan Peters Pietro, is clearly a part of that. Something is either heightening her powers to feed off it, or already feeding her powers, and that's why maybe the anomaly happened. Maybe she just broke and the anomaly happened. But then something came along to help keep the anomaly going. But because it's now feeding off of her energy, the amount of glitches that are starting to happen are increasing more and more. Now, whether that be Nightmare, a lot of people have pointed out to the guy in the background in the Halloween scene who with this mask was just standing there. And some people thought it was like a puppet. No, you see the legs. It's someone standing there. It is some dude who's like just staring at Wanda. Now, it could just be nothing. We saw another kid in like a Freddy Jason combo shirt. Again, New Rockstars pointed this out. Just standing there as well for a while. But it's still creepy. We also see Herb again, which was great. And Herb's, Agnes, seems to be a bit more aware of what's going on than someone else. Yes, you want something changed, Wanda? No, it's fine. So Herb clearly has an awareness of things going on as well. To what degree is still up for debate, but he still clearly has an awareness of things. Then you get the kids, demonstrating their powers. Obviously, their costumes are reminiscent of their comic costumes. And now the question here is: are the kids real? Because if Evan Peters is clearly not the real Quicksilver, he's real Pietro. He's clearly someone else. What exactly is he, though, and why is he so? He seems to be very interested in the kids. Is it for the children? Like the kids? Are the kids part of it? The kids. I thought like at the end of the episode or before the episode that the kids aren't real. I'm wondering that now because the kids have powers too. They have their own separate abilities. And Wanda gave birth to these kids. Like Wanda legitimately gave birth to these kids. Right now, I will tentatively say that these kids might be real, but through weird circumstance, obviously through reality warping circumstances, but I think they might be real because they exhibit their own unique powers. But then again, he's able to hear his dad's thought, and his dad, Vision, he's made obviously from the parts of the previous Vision, but he's not the real Vision. So maybe the fact that he's able to connect with his dad on that level is telling in its own right that maybe he isn't real. And that's why Wanda couldn't hear Vision's calls for help. It's tough. It is tough. Like WandaVision is one of those shows that's like every theory you have to like buffer that with like, oh wait, hold on, we got to take this into account first. And then Hayward, man. Okay, so the whole Monica, Wu, Darcy, Randall, Hayward thing. Hayward, we know Hayward apparently is up to something. Whether or not he's the actual cause for all this is unknown. But whether he's not the villain or not, Hayward's an ass. Maybe he means well to protect people, but Hayward is just an ass. She's even right. It's like, oh, well, Maximoff was never going to negotiate with us. Like, you don't freaking know that. As she said, you cut us off at the knees with that stunt. What the hell? You can't outgun her. You cannot yet you still think you can outgun her. Like, and we do get at least some an excuse that does make some sense of why he kind of became more jaded. You have the luxury of not being here for those 5 years. Some of us had to survive. We had to survive on our own to pick up the pieces. And trusting in supers and all that where they failed. It's clear that this guy harbors some resentment to people with superhuman abilities. It's very clear. Because when you think of it, yeah, like the Avengers, Cap, everyone, they failed. And the blip, the snap happened. And he says, yeah, I know all about your history with Carol Danvers and all that. To be fair, it seems to be, too, that a lot of people are holding Captain Marvel accountable. Like, a lot of people are kind of pissed off with Captain Marvel, it seems. Like, and I heard a great thing. It's like, you left. You could... Yeah, I get it. There's multiple people in the galaxy, multiple planets, sure. But you left us when we could have used your help. If you had been here during the Chitauri invasion, the Avengers probably wouldn't have needed to exist. You could have handled that shit. You could have handled Loki probably on your own. No, you left us. So I'm sorry if there are more people out there. It's like, and she tried to make, there are a lot of other people out there, and they didn't have you. That's great and all, but guess what? For a while, we didn't have them. So I can actually see why a lot of people would be pissed off with Captain Marvel. And you know what? Captain Marvel's arrogant. Captain Marvel, even in the comics, is an arrogant douche, let's be honest. And I'm not trying to push Brie Larson's own personality or opinions or agendas onto the character. Brie Larson's a really good actress, okay? Let's get that out of the way. I think Brie Larson really plays up that pretty well. That's going off, though. So I think, like, yeah, they harbor resentment, like at least Hayward does, and maybe some of Sword. They harbor resentment towards the super community. I think they harbor a lot of resentment. So yeah, no, we had to pick up the pieces. You weren't here. We had to do this. So yeah, I can completely actually understand that viewpoint. Doesn't change the fact the guy's a dick. And then obviously, yeah, there's Project Cataract, and there's apparently something that Hayward really doesn't want them to see. So maybe they were trying to rebuild Ultron. Maybe they were doing something with Vision's body parts. So yeah, and then obviously Vision coming out of the Hex. Now we know now for a fact Vision can't survive out of the Hex. We were wondering for the longest time what happens when he walks out of that thing. Just straighten out my neck. Sorry, I messed up my neck a few days ago, but it's getting better day by day. You ever wake up, kind of give your neck a pop, and then it pops in the wrong way, and you get that like just sharp, almost whiplash, like a knife in your neck feeling? That's what I had a few days ago. It's getting better day by day, though. Like, it's still a little stiff. Like, I can't do that very easily, but it's fine. When I go, hopefully when we go over later to Mark's house and play Beat Saber, well, my neck should be fine. I should be able to do that without any problem. Beat Saber's fun as hell, especially when you got the VR. Anyway, yeah. So we now know Vision can't survive outside that Hex, and that kind of goes to show that Vision, despite having his own personality, mind, and powers, still trying to figure out how the Mind Stone thing's working. And the thing is, because both their abilities came from the Mind Stone, maybe and because he has his own personality and his soul still seems to be there, he's able to kind of think for himself and still have some abilities. But yeah, then when he gets out of there, the Hex starts pulling him back, tearing him apart, and then he just starts to wither into a husk. And then Wanda expands the barrier. The fact that we now know Wanda can expand the barrier and alter reality shows that, yeah, hey, Hayward, just throwing something out there. Call the Avengers! Look, Tony's dead set. Cap's gone. Thor's off-world. Doctor Strange! This is a Doctor Strange level feat. Call Hawkeye. Call Rhodey. Call Hulk. Call Spider-Man. Call someone! Seriously, what the hell, guys? Actually, when you really break it down, there aren't a lot of Avengers left at the moment. Because Cap and Iron Man's gone. Cap's gone, by all account. I mean, yeah, you got Falcon and Winter and Bucky, but let's be honest, what do we think they can do? Like, the human individuals with maybe some souped up strength, something, what do we think they can actually do against this? Doctor Strange is a legitimate option. Definitely legitimate option. And you know what? I think that, but they don't even know who Doctor Strange is, I think. I don't think they have the option of calling him. I think that's something a lot of people aren't taking into consideration is, among who is left for the Avengers, I mean, yeah, if they could maybe try to coax her out to communicate with her again, maybe Hawkeye could talk her down, sure, but going in there, that's not going to work. It's going to alter them again. It's going to alter anyone who goes in there. So Doctor Strange is the only one I can think of that they can get in touch with. Because we don't know where Carol Danvers is right now. We assume she's off-world again. Because otherwise she would probably sense this, because she senses energy. She's got energy powers. She's got his 50 stone-based powers. And Monica even says she's not here right now. So Thor, we know, is gone. So there are some heavy hitters that could theoretically help that are not here. Banner is one that you could theoretically call. Like, Banner, I could see that being an option. But what can he do? I mean, he can maybe figure out some science mumbo-jumbo behind it. Shuri, maybe, but they don't have her on speed dial. I don't think they have a lot of Wakanda on speed dial. Chitala is Chitala. There we go. Chitala is busy ruling, and I get power. Maybe Wakanda could have some tech that could help, and eventually it's going to hit the point where Wakanda could have to get involved. Anyone else would have to get involved. But yeah, thinking on it, Doctor Strange, they don't have the number for him, and his rationale probably is that they're just not going to be helpful. Like, they abandoned us. I don't want to deal with them, and maybe he's letting his own butthurt feelings get in the way, but he's got to do something. And we see just the fact that now I think the bigger this gets, the less control Wanda is going to be having under this scenario here. So, this is not going to, we'll get 3 episodes left. This is not going to end well. Because we know Wanda is going to be a solid player, maybe a big player in Multiverse of Madness. And we know that WandaVision is connected to Spider-Man 3 and Multiverse of Madness. A lot of people are theorizing she might, in fact, be the villain of the Multiverse of Madness. We will see. All I can say is this is freaking nuts right now, and we are loving every moment of this show. This is must see. This is literally the definition of must see TV, because you need to know what's going on and you need to know what's happening next. And every week we get like 1 or 2 answers, a couple of debunked theories, and then a couple more theories spring up and a couple more questions. It's the perfect balance you get with this show, and we're loving every minute of it. But what did you think of episode 6? You think it was fantastic, or did you, whatever? By the way, yeah, Darcy got sucked into the anomaly. I have to believe we're going to get a 2 Broke Girl reference. She's going to be dressed up in her 2 Broke Girls outfits. I have to believe that. Anyway, that's my opinion. Whatever. Till then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want notifications. I meant to do that. Bell if you want notifications. Ideas for anything I do on the channel. You know the drill. Put in the comments below. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.